All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
It was very scary. Never seen anything like that so close.
Well, more than 24 people right now are without a home after theirs caught fire. Coming up, you're going to hear from some of those families in New Haven as they try to figure out what comes next. Good morning, everybody. Glad you're with us here at 6 o'clock on Fox 61 and on Fox 61 Plus. I'm Tim Lammers.
At America Areas, we hope you had a great weekend. Some of you may be tired, we understand, but hey, we're getting some more sunlight, and that's going to be great. We're checking in with Rachel Piscatelli. Longer days, more time to get outside and enjoy them, especially because the weather is going to be warming up.
Absolutely. Today is going to feel like springtime a little bit. The sun coming down now at about 6:50 in the 6:50 hour, so that's quite nice. Turning warmer this week as well, with temperatures again approaching the lower 60s in the afternoon. Slightly cold in spots, about 39 degrees in Hartford. It's 37 in Windsor Lock, so warmer in some spots, but like in Willimantic, you're at 23 degrees. You seem to be the colder spot. Over in Norwich at 33, as well as in Torrington. It's 37 degrees currently as you step out the door in Waterbury. Wind speeds are just fine, 5 to about 10 miles per hour now. And moving forward, there could be an occasional gust, noticing that wind shift out of the northwest. So as they begin to shift, there could be a few more gusts that move in around 10 to about 20 miles per hour in the afternoon, but overall not bad. With sunny skies throughout the day today, grab those sunglasses. You will certainly need them, as our highs will approach the lower 60s in the afternoon. 57 in New Haven, 62 degrees in Wallingford. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of our shoreline towns also hit about 60 degrees, especially with the wind shifting. 59 in Ledyard, 61 degrees today in Norwich, and 59 over in Wyndham. Over the next couple of days, it's still going to be quite nice for our Tuesday. Temperatures start off in the 30s, warming to the 60s in the afternoon. We're dry, just not as warm for our Wednesday. We'll talk about any other precipitation chances that are on the way for this week coming up in just a bit. As we check in the roadways here at 6:02, overall not bad. Over in New Haven now, things are running smoothly with light volume on 95 as well as 91. Your drive times through the Elm City this morning. New Haven to the I-95 connector is 2 minutes. New Haven to Bridgeport is about a half hour. Over to you.
Well, thank you.
Well, starting this morning, middle schoolers in New Haven will have to lock up their phones as soon as they get into school.
Yeah, it is just continuing a trend that we're seeing more and more, not just in that district, but across the state. And it looks like a lot of those school districts are finding that they indeed limit distractions in the classroom when they lock up those phones. Fox 61's Kaylee Collins is live in New Haven to explain how it works. Kaylee, good morning.
Good morning, Tim and Erica. Yeah, 17 middle schools here in New Haven, including the Truman School here, will officially implement that cell phone-free school policy as of later this morning. Now, the New Haven Public School District first adopted this policy back in October of last year after they considered guidance from the U.S. Surgeon General and also the State Board of Ed that detailed how disruptive those cell phones can be to the learning process. And after meeting with students, parents, and other community members, the city then approved $375,000 to purchase pouches from the company Yonder. Now, students will lock away their cell phones in Yonder pouches at the start of the school day, and they don't get them back until the end of the day. 12 middle schools and 1 high school have already tested this policy to kind of iron out any potential issues. And when the policy was first adopted, New Haven Superintendent Dr. Madeline Negron praised the effectiveness of these pouches in limiting distractions.
Students are more likely to concentrate on their lessons and engage fully in their classroom activities. And that is what we're looking for, high engagement from all of our students.
Now, some have argued that in an emergency, parents wouldn't be able to get in touch with their kids, but in a case of an emergency, teachers would be able to open those pouches. They're typically locked away and placed either at the teacher's desk or at the main office, but again, they are accessible by teachers in case of an emergency. Now, the mayor of New Haven and also Superintendent Negron and other city officials are planning to visit Truman School here later this morning to officially launch that cell phone free policy. That's happening here at 8 this morning. We're live in New Haven. Kaylee Collins, Fox 61.
Kaylee, thank you for that report. We appreciate it.
Well, 6:04 right now, and 2 members of a North Haven family are dead this morning after a weekend crash. This happened in Vermont.
Yeah, Fox 61's Keith McGilvery is live in North Haven. He joins us now. Keith, I guess this was a big mess of a crash involving many cars. What happened?
It was a massive kind of pile up and follow through as a result of this crash. Tim and Erica, there are a lot of details to get to this morning, but chief among them is the victims here, the youngest of whom was just 4 months old. A North Haven father and son are dead after a Saturday morning crash in Vermont. Vermont State Police tell us it happened along I-91 North in the town of Rockingham. Investigators say 39-year-old Taylor Binnington was killed when his car crashed into the back of a fuel tanker truck. His 4-month-old son, Perry Lake, was in the back seat. He was life-flighted to Dartmouth-Hitchcock Medical Center, where he died. The baby's mom, Evelyn Lake, and the couple's 3-year-old son, who were also in the car, survived. State police say this was part of a series of crashes on I-91 because of a snow squall. At the time, police say the road was slippery and visibility was low. Up to 40 cars were involved in minor crashes and slide-offs. Investigators say the tanker truck driver, a 41-year-old from New Hampshire, stopped because of those crashes, but Binnington was unable to stop in time and crashed into the back of the tanker. Evelyn Lake and the couple's 3-year-old son were also taken to Dartmouth-Hitchcock Medical Center. That's that major trauma center that serves the region over the border in New Hampshire. They are expected to survive from those injuries. A lot of folks in a crash like this, Tim and Erica, ask about things like seatbelts. Everybody involved in both vehicles were wearing seatbelts, and the 2 little ones riding in the back seat were also in car seats. Tim, you mentioned kind of that long line of cars we saw there. Living in Vermont for a number of years, it is not a simple effort to reroute traffic. Often the exits along 91 North are substantially separated by great geographical distance. So we saw that impact the day there for quite a number of hours, rather. As we learn new information, we will bring that to you. But for now, live in North Haven this morning, Keith McGilvery, Fox 61.
Keith, thanks so much. It's so incredibly sad. Oh, meantime, dozens of people in New Haven have lost their home in a fire. This happened on Saturday night, and now they're trying to figure out what's next. Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot spoke with people in that neighborhood who say they've never seen anything like this before.
I spoke with one lady who lives at the complex who did not want to go on camera. She said she lost everything, including her late mother's belongings, but she's grateful she made it out alive. A fire in New Haven has left 31 people displaced. According to fire officials, 3 units are destroyed and several others are damaged. Jasmine Mercado said she's still shaken up. She lives next door to the apartments on Blake Street in New Haven that went up in flames Saturday evening. Only a fence separated Mercado's apartment complex and those that caught on fire.
These apartments are like one close to another, so we thought they was going to hit the one behind us and the one next to us too. So it was very scary. Never seen anything like that so close.
It's still unclear how the fire started. The Red Cross says it's helping 31 people from these apartments who were forced out of their home. In New Haven, Kay Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
A commercial flower farm in Summers says it wants to thank people in the community for their support after a fire sparked at their facility Friday night. More than 20 different fire companies had to be called in to help battle that fire at Grower Direct Farms. That's on Hamden Road in Summers. One firefighter was hurt but is expected to be okay. Crews spent much of Saturday monitoring the facility to make sure the fire didn't reignite. The farm thanked all first responders along with nearby farms and companies for their support on social media. Unfortunately, no one was hurt after a basement fire sparked in Weathersfield. This one happened at 10:30 Sunday morning on Maple Street. Crews say the fire did spread to the first floor, but they were able to get it under control pretty quickly. No word yet on what may have sparked the fire. Crews from Newington and Rocky Hill were all called in to help. Happening today, Governor Lamont is expected to sign a bill that would give nearly $3 million to several nonprofits. The grants are meant to help services for the LGBTQ+ community, immigrant groups, reproductive health care organizations. Today's bill signing is expected to happen at the Connecticut Institute for Refugees and Immigrants in Bridgeport. On today in Fairfield, the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority, or PURA, is going to hear from the public about a proposed rate increase from United Illuminating. That's expected to start at 5:30 this evening. It's at the Public Library on Old Post Road East. Now, this comes as lawmakers have proposed removing the public benefits charges from electric bills.
We got breaking news overnight. South Korea's military reported that North Korea has once again fired several ballistic missiles into the sea. The reported launch happened as South Korea and the U.S. kicked off their annual joint training drills. People did protest those drills outside the Defense Ministry building in Seoul earlier today. Now, North Korea has long viewed these drills as a rehearsal for an invasion of its country and often fires ballistic missiles in response. It's not clear in this case how far those missiles flew or even to which sea they flew into, but it's usually the Sea of Japan out to the east. This is the 5th known missile launch by North Korea since the start of this year.